So like if you were to start, say, Atari today in 2023, what would be different and what would remain, what would be the same about doing that? Would it be possible to start a company like Atari?
Oh, I think so. Though I like the term red ocean, blue ocean. And since video games didn't exist, it was a very blue ocean. You know, there wasn't any competition. And now, if you started a game company, it'd be one of 10 million.
Right.
I mean, there's so many game companies out there that you say, okay, out of this, I'm going to come up with a new idea.
Right.
Maybe, maybe not, but it's not going to be a slam dunk. Um, there are edges, like I'm working on this thing called Atari Labs, which is a new kind of arcade. And arcades went away when you could play a game at home that was equivalent to what you were playing in the arcade. And so arcades just went away. Um, this arcade, these games that I'm designing right now, you can't play them at home. They all are somewhat physical and take some space and that sort of thing. And I think that there's going to be some fun stuff like, a public game area that is growing leaps and bounds are escape rooms, and they're fun.
Yeah. It's interesting. So like what is that? Is that like the intersection of gaming and robotics? Is there an intersection there?
Well, there can be like I'm going to have some escape rooms, and I'm going to have Amazon Echo in there, sort of monitoring what's going on. And escape rooms are fun if you're good at them. They're kind of boring if you're bad at them. Some people are not good at solving puzzles, and so if the Echo is tracking you and you see that they're falling behind on the puzzles, they can give you hints, and I think that'll make it more fun. I did a board game using the Echo ecosystem called Saint Noir. Did I give you one of
Yeah,
those?
you did. Yeah, and it won some awards at
It really did. Yeah,
yeah.
it was kind of fun, and I got deep into the Echo ecosystem and just trying to figure out edges where things didn't exist. That's fun.
Yeah. I remember playing very physical games growing up. Like, of course, you had the hockey games, and do you remember the football games where you like it would vibrate and the guys would just sort of like go across the.
Right. Yeah, those were fun.
Those were great. Those were great, and I always thought, well, is there something? Is there a way to bring because that kind of physical thing around and blend some digital technology into it? Thinking
Yeah,
out loud.
there's a company actually that kind of does that. It's called Tilt 5,
Okay.
and it's a augmented reality gaming system. It's pretty cool. If you go into the website, take a look at it. I know the woman who founded it, and she's a character. And they use an interesting technology because what they take is a retroreflective mat, and you wear glasses that actually project the augmented reality thing. So it basically grows on the map what you're projecting from your glasses.
Very
Neat
cool.
tech. It will not disappoint.
That's cool. That's cool stuff.
I got another one that I just got the other day. It's called the Tilt Cube. Oh, I've let it. Oh, I haven't kept it charged. But anyway, each of these is a video screen.
Oh, how about that?
So it's kind of a combination gameplay Rubik's Cube. Damn, I didn't realize I had this unplugged. My grandkids are living with us while their folks' house is being remodeled. And they get in my office and do all kinds of unmentionable things.
Well, that's got to be a lot of fun. for them. And you.
I have fun. Like last night I taught my 6-year-old how to play Yahtzee, and he got
Oh,
really
wow.
into it.
Yeah, yeah. So we were talking about AI earlier. We're talking about games, and AI has been incorporated in the games for a long time. But was there any AI that you brought into some of your early incarnations, like the Androbot or like the Atari, or was it just?
The rocket ship was playing against the flying saucer, and the algorithm was really simple. It would just detect whether or not the rocket ship was below or above, to the right or the left, and it'd fire a missile in that direction. And it was surprising how good that was. And that's all it did.
I guess like neural networks. I remember. I think my first introduction to neural networks was like late 1980s, maybe. Like there was a concept of like the perceptron, and you train these systems with these patterns, and then it learns, right? And there's a lot of that. A lot of people are trying to do that with autonomous vehicles, but it's a very probabilistic thing, right? You're
Yeah, it's
training it.
non-deterministic.
It's non-deterministic. It's based on probability as to how it makes decisions, right? So you can't predict what it's going to do. And so I think that's particularly dangerous for cars, right?
Yeah.
You don't probably want to know that you're going to get to your destination safely, or you pretty much you want to know, you want to feel pretty sure
Yeah,
about that, and especially if you're in there with loved ones. But for games or whatever, the stakes are a little lower.
much lower.
And so,
Yeah,
was there any sort of neural network stuff that you've done with games, or that you're aware of that have been applied to?
not that I know of. Not really. I was introduced to neural nets with a book called, it's either Robots on Your Doorstep or Robots in Your Closet. And it was a funny little book that was very, very, it's one of those books that was based on, that changed your brain by reading it.
Robots on Your
And
Doorstep, is that what
I think
something?
I don't remember. I've got a copy of it.
I'll look that up.
It's been out of print. The only way you'll get it is you pay a used copy.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if it's even available now, but this was, I want to say, in the middle 60s when it was published. But it goes through pattern recognition and neural nets and image. It was really, and he had a chart that I'll never forget, in which he classified everything diagrammatically. Like, is it organic? Is it inorganic? Is it animated? Is it smart? Is it dumb? Is it, and it was really well thought out. It's probably one of the most intellectually stimulating books I've ever read.
Huh. Wow. Now we got to look it up. You'll typically find them in PDF form if they're no longer in print for whatever reason. Someone
Yeah,
somewhere has scanned it and put it on the web if it's not something that you can buy. So,
that'd be good.
yeah.
I might actually look that up. I'll see if I can find my copy around here somewhere.
I had a book, I think it was like from the 1950s or 60s, and I don't know where it came from. And it was by some guy I just remember at MIT, and it was about artificial intelligence. I must have been like, I don't know, 13 or something, right before like I got a Commodore 64. So as soon as I got that Commodore 64, I was trying to figure out how can you write programs at all. I was trying to figure that out. And then how could you make programs that were artificially intelligent?
Well, there were some giveaway books that Digital Equipment did on Boolean algebra. And I can remember picking that up, and I never really thought about Boolean algebra or anything before. I mean, I'd never taken it in college or anything. But this was actually, I think, in high school. maybe early college. But those were also books that were very, instrumental in fixing me.
Fixing you.
Well, or building my brain.
I see.
Taking me from an imperfect to a less imperfect person.
It's interesting to see, like when you read about programming or artificial intelligence, or it's almost as if you unlocked a new way. Oh, this is a pattern of thinking. So therefore, I'm going to practice thinking that way. It's sometimes, it can be a mind expanding activity.
My oldest son was in the second grade, and my younger son was in the first grade. They were just one grade apart. And I'd just gotten a Macintosh, and I showed them how to use HyperCard. And it was just basically, put a square or a rectangle in the middle of the screen and then draw lines out to it. And it looks like you're looking into a room. And then you put doors on the room, you hyperlink them to another room. And it turned out they could make an adventure game.
Oh, yeah.
They were so smitten with that this was on a Sunday night. And they said, Dad, we got to finish this because we're going to take it to show and tell tomorrow. And I've often thought that they got so many kudos with their friends saying, I wrote this game just using HyperCard and hyperlinks. That's it.
That's interesting. I remember there was a program that helped you create those text-based adventures like Infocom, right? Where you could go into different rooms and stuff and make your own rooms. And like those types of frameworks that help you create something, your own game.
Branching narratives. Branching narratives.
Yeah. Or just engines that help you create
They were called moos, and remember they were called moos and muds.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Right.
Boy, we're really dating ourselves, Paul.
Yeah. Yeah. Multi-user. I forget what all that stood for, but
multi-user dungeons, mud.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a moo is multi-user organization. I don't know. I remember it was moo and muds.
I hope you enjoyed the show Driven with me, Paul Perrone, your host. Don't forget to check us out at driven.show on the web and give us a thumbs up or subscribe here if you like the show. Thank you for listening in. See you soon.